but it's probably... What is this?
Huh. That was quick from Saber. Like, it was instant. They both knew what they wanted.
Now, getting quick flashbacks to All-Stars. Oh, hang on. The
Uh-oh.
snowball tech is already there, and he's popped the ghost, and Alla's like, wait a minute, I don't like this at all. He's got a barrier, he's got Ignite, and he's going to just pop the barrier to try and deflect a lot of that all-in damage. But right there, you see the potential lethality of this Darius in the early levels.
Yeah, and not only that, he's going to have Snowball up again very soon, right? Have we seen... Now, I haven't actually had my eye on the 1v1s since, you know, we moved over to the Howling Abyss bridge. So I can't tell you off the top of my head whether or not we've seen many Snowballs come out yet. But it makes a lot of sense, right? It's kind of it's skill shot flash as far as this 1v1 is concerned on a significantly cheaper CD. So honestly, hats off to Saber. He's got himself a massive HP advantage now as well. And he's technically got sustain if he can hit the cube. So this is I mean, look at this! And he's gonna get him again!
He's gonna pull him in! He's just
dead!
You're right, Jamada, that the burn from the passive is not gonna be enough to take him out. We were so ready for it to be over, but Saber is just one auto attack away, because I imagine between an auto, the passive bleed would be the end of Allah, so he's trying to keep his distance. Remember, no flash on this Corki setup. The only other summoner spell that is available is Ignite, but he would have to chunk out Saber a little bit more to make use of that all-in, and he barely Wait, he's going in! You're insane!
Wait, Saber!
What? Oh my...
Giving homework to your player. This is a homework game. This is a watch what happens every single time you get to see Snowball up. And just see how aggressively it gets used.
This will be in history books for ages, Jamada. This is the day that Saber defied everything we have come to expect about the LPL 1v1.
He did just burn Ghost there, though. Unfortunately, he's not going to get value out of it in an actual rundown attempt, just because he barely missed that apprehend. But I'm loving this from Saber. This is nothing but a big smile on my face right now.
Yeah, I'm locked in right now. I'm sitting on the edge of my seat. We haven't even started the official best of 5 yet. This is just for side select.
Got Snowball up again. See how aggressively he positions, trying to get between the minions and Arla. Oh, and he interrupted!
Pulls him out of the Valkyrie, so huge. But Saber's taking way more damage now that Arla has had a chance to buy and get a couple of longswords and that extra Dorn's Blade for himself.
I did to track the 1v1 meta, admittedly. Run down.
Ooh, I like what Arla did there. He Valkyried in so that he would avoid the outer damage of that Decimate. And that's the Ghost gone from Saber. He's gotten a lot of damage, to be fair, with that Trinity Force already completed.
Yeah, that's really rough. He had so much upfront burst there. Once you miss that outer ring of the Q, it starts to get real risky, and Saber can't base anymore. Look at the ring, look at the minimap. So that's closing in. That is advantage Arla. And that's gonna stick. So Saber somehow has to dodge out on a bunch of damage from Corki at point blank range and then still kill him.
He pulls him in, apprehend, gets a decent amount of damage with that guillotine, but Arla can now just take him out. Oh my!
Pathmaker, that W is a ridiculous tool to stop stopping divers to getting on top of your carries. You've got wave clear out of Pays. I'm expecting Pays will be piloting the Ziggs. You know, once Pays hits level 5 and checks people get mad about it, and that just kind of reveals their.
I mean, they're new. That's why they're getting mad, bro. Like,
no, I know. Waco.
Oh, wait a minute. Waco forced to pop the cleanse. I don't know if Arla overtook this 1v1, but he's got Shun waiting in the wings, and he baits.
Dies. Like, you know, obviously his Q and hammer form is to the skies. We need to just start saying Jace goes sky as an obvious reference to what it is.
Oh, man. Well, Waco's about to go to the sky right now as Pays sends a bomb up high in the sky. And my goodness, Waco is not having a great time. 1v1 from Saber, tries to erupt as he tries to trap Scout in between worlds. Junhao is there, tries to look for the flash, pairs it with the wind becomes lightning, but Scout...
He's not going to be involved in this dive unless he walks up and drops an ult on Saber's head, as I think 3 members are about to be on top of Saber's head right here.
Yeah.
Difficult dive.
Saber's got to buy as much time as he can. Junhao is making his way on over. Saber has dodged out away from Shun and missing for now. One spear has only connected, but it's not enough as Shun now goes back in, tries to get that empowered takedown damage with the pounds, but Junhao has turned his attention on missing, and he's just left to the lead here, Jamada. We could have JDG pick up these feats of strength just by securing the dragon, or if they rotate a lot of their members, which they seem to be doing now, to make this dive happen and take out this first turret.
Yep. And Wanjiang, no ultimate here.
Well, missing, tries to go for the solar flare, but Wanjiang is able to dash away out of it thanks to a well-timed flash, and now Ultra Prime are just once again.
Because towers have kind of been I mean, I think in terms of their damage and their ramp, they've been pretty samey for the last 2-3 years at least. But the spike in this current version is so heavy compared to what we've seen before. Whoa,
Allah is taking Wanjiang on a trip all the way across that turret, but can he get in range? Flash forward with the Natofa strikes. One more, that's enough.
Yeah, 1v1 Jung, unfortunately is 1v1. Yeah, it certainly will. And even though missing's been misplaced a little too much, he's not misplaced right now, and they're looking for a play onto Saber and RosieLove.
RosieLove forced to flash. Another spear connects. Nice shock blast from Scout. The game is not completely over, but JDG are well in control as they're going to look for another engage onto Waco. We talked about it before. Solar Flare connects for the slow, and Scout tries to go all the way in. And thankfully, because he is tank, he's living for a while, but not long enough to get the lethality assassination down onto Waco. And Ultra Prime. Wait a minute! Kobe! Mega Inferno Bomb! Interested in trying to continue the dive, but they will continue pressing for the minion wave. As Pays, all he had to do was just step up and knock out this turret with the satchel charge, and now the rest of JDG just got to make sure that they are not overextending themselves, because Ultra Prime do have all numbers here and everyone's in position. They're turning right on to missing, and he just might fall before Allah gets a chance to turn on to Junhao. He's already popped the Crescent Guard, and he's making his way out of this fight. Allah getting tangled up here. Mega Inferno Bomb gets a bit of damage right onto RosieLove as Allah is now going all out. Takes out the support. Saber cutting off Shun from the rest of the fight. Pace trying to contribute whatever he can, but he's running out of mana, so this guy's got no more bombs to supply in this firefight. Shun still trying to look for these spears. The Scout sends it to the skies, looking for Wanjiang. A spear from Shun nails the needle in the haystack, finding Wanjiang in the middle of that clump. As now Shun is looking for another one, goes back in for the pounds. Junhao forced to flash away. Saber flashing on the left side, but it's still not enough. Shun finds Junhao before he falls to Waco on the backside, but Pays with Kobe. He teleported back.
He wins. Maybe it's all part of the plan, right? As dies super early. You can see already JDG taking control of the top side of this jungle was missing. I think might have to use his flash.
Yeah, I mean, JDG are 8,000 gold up into this fight, so if they can't pull this one off for Ultra Prime, I mean, this just might be done and dusted. And once again, missing does fall for the greater good of his team, as Pays is going to short hop over the wall, looking for RosieLove as he takes him out for a quick double kill. Now going to look for more as Allah is rounding up Junhao in this corridor. Nowhere else to run. Allah picks one up for himself, making himself 5-0 and 5. 4-0 and 5, my bad. JDG, this is pretty much a 10,000 gold lead at this point, with the final kill, full ace off the map from Ultra Prime. And JDG, I think it's safe to say this game is over.
This game is certainly over. Don't see a world where Ultra Prime come back now. 10k gold lead. I think 3 minutes ago it was only about 3. So, says a lot about the state of this game. Base broke open.
Ultra Prime, they sniffed something's up.
They sniffed something's up, but I mean, Pays a second ago did not have a death cap. So I think they need to be very, very worried about the amount of damage that little Yordle has. And if they get grouped up, that
ultimate bomb is going to send them to Kingdom Come. Saber's already chunked out of the fight. Here comes Missing as he finds the Zenith Blade right onto Waco. And good night as the marksman is still living to tell the tale before Shun sinks his fangs in and takes out the Archer. As Pace finds another one onto RosieLove, and the rest of Ultra Prime have just nowhere else to run. Junhao will use the Wind Becomes Lightning, but Shun just wants to end this jungler's life as he flashes into the Wolf Pit and takes him down once again. Saber also running out of areas to go, and JDG will completely set aside the Otacon and just run for the base as Jiang does make it out alive, but I don't know if he's going to be enough to save this base.
that was old teleport, I think we would have just seen Missing take a very mystical journey across the map.
That would be crazy.
This base, this Nexus is not long for the world. And quick footnote before we see this Nexus die, as JDG are just farming KDA at this point.
Had those
kills.
stats, JDG. You deserve it. Such a dominant Game 1 opener in this best of 5, where we have a lot of questions about how this JDG team is going to do, and they have a swift statement. And Maokai already locked in. The Nautilus, I'm going to be honest here, Jamana, I'm a little surprised. That does not offer nearly as much safety for Jinx, and so it puts it more on Paze's shoulders to peel for himself.
Flash times, they flash at the same time, level 1, so Paze has Cosmic Insight. Waco did not have Cosmic Insight.
No, he did not. And he hooked RosieLove out of the dash. Oh!
He's not going to be able to. No, he's not going to be able to steal it with the. Just held onto it for a little bit too long. Now top side. Breakout here.
I mean, they're going to get feisty. Missing is not level 6. Jung is. They are giving Shun the space to set up and take this first dragon of the game.
Should be all up. Does get that trade back, but that's still a little bit rough, and Junhao's in the area now. Maokai, he's not easy to dive, but this Maokai might be on the easier side of the spectrum for sure. He's going to look for a recall. Junhao should just about see him, and he does. He's going to interrupt it. Sleep options there. Do it late.
Jung has already popped the dominance, so he's got to go in now and execute. Flash does not come up in time. Prime are completely invested on the bottom tier 1. And if they can just get another minion wave pushed in, they should be able to beat them to the punch. Yeah, this is totally Ultra Prime's objective to claim. Nicely done by Ultra Prime to be able to compete for first brick. And now JDG really...
Kind of an uptrade for JDG. You have to remember, first Tower Blood.
Priority of Paze in the mid lane, get an extra bit of chip damage. Oh, RosieLove really wants to send it on to Shun, forcing his flash out. RosieLove is a little far, and he doesn't get a chance to battle dance away. It's a team who has pretty much really locked in, and they're much more synced up than two.
This is a good indicator. Teleport's coming down, Herald's going down. So JDG, will they get it, and will there be a fight after the fact?
1400, RosieLove is in. 1100, can Shun secure it? Yes, he does. Jung is on the left side trying to route out the plant lady, but Junhao is in trouble because the rest of JDG have collapsed on the bottom side of the map. Back onto the top side of the map. Jung almost has taken out Shun, gets one more dash in, and takes out plant lady herself. JDG losing out on the support as well.
A guess. Saber will pick up this tier 1 rather on the top side. Messy fight for JDG.
Here's here, Jamada. So I'm expecting the next time Junhao's got that flash button up and available. Coming in. Scout arrives to the mid lane. Decent E onto Shun, but good God, Saber just got blown up. And Paze got priority and threatened this tower.
I mean, I don't even think they're going to be able to threaten the tower, though, because Dragon's already dead. They just have to rotate out, so...
Dang.
This Atacon buff does not die. It does not die quickly.
Look where RosieLove is. He's waiting. He's waiting for JDG to enter, and now he's going to try to look for Shun that gets his flash out, so the engage now turns right onto the front line of JDG. Missing could be the first one to fall, but Saber gets burnt out once again, and Paze gets the resets, and he's excited, and he's rolling through every single member of Ultra Prime. Good night. It was a nice attempt to use the Otacon to bait them in, but JDG just played it way better than they expected, and this Otacon is now gifted freely.
I mean, honestly, I don't even... The Atacon buff on hand, the way that the execution keeps on falling in favor of JDG, it just continues to mount the pressure on top of Ultra Prime right now.
And that gold lead that Ultra Prime briefly had, it's gone. Now swings back over into the hands of JDG. RosieLove once again maybe angling and posturing for an engage. Gets a decent grand entrance on the backside, but Jung has already fallen as Saber. Really great fate sealed, but this is the Otacon GAs that are being taken off the board. Dash and dance around the fight.
He does. Still has that ult, like you say. RosieLove, he's looking for a play. It's awkward.
Oh, they find Pays, but public execution from Scout delays the engage and gives Baby Pays enough time to survive. But Waco commits his own flash to get rid of the wall and assassinate the other marksman. Big shutdown as Junhao is in the backline with the rest of his comrades as they take out another member from JDG. And that was the moment we were waiting for, Jamada. One moment of brilliance from Ultra Prime to swing this game out of the hands of JDG.
You know what? Just Route 1 football from Ultra Prime. They've tried all of these fancy set plays, try and go for these multi-pro. They just send it down mid. RosieLove straight through the entirety of JDG. It's arguably the most rudimentary engage they've had all game, but it's the one that works, and it should net them Baron on top of all of this. Ala, I don't know how much he's really got in the tank to stop this. It's him and Missing versus 5. There is no damage on the table. This should just be Ultra Prime's Baron to take.
And Saber has rejoined the fight with teleport. Oh no, Super Mega Death Rocket! Oh my god, it got so close! But Junhao secures the Baron. But now it becomes a dance of how many people from Ultra Prime can survive and escape. As Scout joins the fight, they've got Hextech portals, so everyone from JDG is piling on in. But Ultra Prime have seemingly escaped for everyone except Waco. I'm sorry, brother. Someone's got to die, and you're the sacrificial lamb that's left.
State, Hextech Soul, that turns into a Baron kind of easily. Could have got real slippery real fast.
Sure it outright, but Ultra Prime got another wave on the way, and JDG cannot stay to defend it.
That's going to be tier 2 down here as well. Scout can't stop this from happening, so a lot of gold swung in.
I just want to point out I was completely wrong on the Dragon timer. I thought it was 3.5 minutes. It just spawned, so...
It's up now.
It's up now.
Oh.
My bad. Ooh, good hook. Looks for Junhao. He's going to pop the Zonias, and he's forced to flash away, so he can't use his ultimate proactively. He's going to get one Lilting Lullaby onto Pays, and he takes a quick nap before he cleanses it, and now the jungler from Ultra Prime is gone. Super Mega Death Rocket doesn't get that much damage off of it, but Waco is in so much pressure that he's forced to pop the Featherstorm. John goes for a flash-in, desperate play, and he pops his GA, takes one support with him, but he's got to deal with the rest of the squad from JDG, and he's not lasting that much longer. Saber, no, not today! Fate
Soul going over to JDG. Spoke about 5 minutes ago. That dragon went over. It would have probably been Baron out, considering where Arla was anyway. So 1-for-1 still feels fine. As we come out of replay, people are dying.
Yep, Jamada, and they've already...
Indeed. I think Baron, Hextech Soul, it's going to be 2 of bearing. We're looking at a game 3. Ultra Prime, the only resource division you have as champions. That is how it's going to unfold for you, JDG.
A lot of reliance on in Pays.
Yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest with you, because I think JDG have been very creative in their lane assignments early on. They've been willing to lane swap or accept lane swap situations, but also, again, you know, post that kind of initial level 1 setup, hold that fort.
Holy moly. Jong burning down, Ignite, finally takes him out. Junhao also forced out of the fight. Here comes the public execution over the wall. Good night, RosieLove. And there's only 3 members left standing from the side of Ultra Prime. There is still a Lilting Lullaby available. Junhao, no flash available. Saber forced to use the Fate Seal just to retreat back into the fountain, but Waco doesn't get to survive. Junhao and Saber are just begging for mercy, but JDG, there is no mercy in this house, as JDG will claim a 2nd game of the series.
As a pick didn't actually get directly nerfed, Galio support here for Missing into this Elise pick. And honestly, I kind of like it. You've got...
make the counter engage possible. No, I buy it. Now, Junhao has skipped a couple of camps to make sure that he can arrive on this bottom side of the map looking for that vault breaker. It's just a simple sidestep for Missing, but he's already burned the flash, and they are preparing for this mid lane play.
Yeah. Just trying to match each other here. Saber shouldn't be in trouble, though. If Shun makes it here, certainly will be.
Flash, and it's not in time.
It's going to be a big deal as Pays also gets this mid lane plate with Missing. So the cross map actively happening here for JDG in recent years. So he's very, very tenured on it. As many junglers are, but some are far, far less efficient than others, as Arla sidesteps that Q. That's going to be big in keeping him alive here.
He's going to call the Ram, but doesn't get a chance to actually use it because he was CC'd to death. And for Ultra Prime, that's the 2nd kill of the game going their way, and John being able to pick up some of that gold. is now really putting the gold snowball in the right places on the team.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised. I'm not sure, maybe as we panned up, get the damage, I think, real soon, though. That wave clear, frustrating, not going to matter, forced to dive anyway.
Yep, Jung leads it, Junhao follows up, and extra plates for Pays, while the rest of Ultra Prime, you know, be glad in the fact that they over-invested for that play and guarantee first.
Only really want to start kind of being active around 2 items at the earliest.
Yeah.
So this gives Ultra Prime a lot of freedom in these next maybe 10 minutes or so of farm. Though Scout's gonna get a little bit, so one piece. JDG picking up that first one. That's the main thing, right? Scout and Shun are gonna try and dive this Jax right now.
That's one way to put pressure on them, but Shun takes a little too much damage from the turret, and Jung realizes
just fine for the next 5 minutes or so. Just sitting here and kind of
forcing him off and ceding defense of the structure. This will give JDG a little bit of extra gold in their pockets for gold. Ala looking for potentially lethal onto Saber, just a trade of ultimates so far, and Saber will respect the potential lethal that Ala does have.
Saber close to a second item, Waco close to a second item. Hayes has his 2 items completed and they're playing for this tier 2 on the bottom side of Prime.
Tie everything back together. Despite Ultra Prime having a little bit of very fun and explosive early game action, they haven't really steamrolled this game ahead as Jong... Oh, wait, he has survived? No way! I thought he was... We've been slowly waiting, Jamada, for the action to...
That's all he really has to do. The Scout keeps Cryo topside and then looking for a play up here.
Wants it. Cyclone sets up the guaranteed flash taunt for missing, looking for Saber. Ignite burns him down, and Rosie Love does not get a chance to escape. Saber lives, but the rest of Ultra Prime now down without a support, and it's a 5-man advantage strong for JDG on the map as they take out this tier 2 turret, and now they're starting to make...
It will be given to Shun. The vision pop comes through. They see Junhao. And now remember, there's no information for Ultra Prime. They know that because of the Scuttle Pro. They're going to be spotted on that brief rotation. It's going to be alright. So no Baron, no big play, no decision made by JDG there.
We got a little bit of the explosive action from JDG as they find potentially another pick. Junhao, if it goes down, surely that should
Going
be...
for a Baron contest just feels horrible, right? You've got 2 teleports already available, so if you kill those solo laners, they'll just withdraw and teleport right back. So take the towers. JDG understand that.
Potential. They did not immediately gun for the Baron after Otacon was completed because they had to correct a lot of these waves on both top and bot wave. Ala might be in trouble. Junhao and Jung have done a great job of routing him off and away from any reinforcements. The rest of JDG are just pushing through the mid lane. Ala, there goes the Otacon GA. That is gone, but JDG will take advantage of this and pretty much open the map through the mid lane. Tier 2 completely gone. And that True Shot Barrage, it does not find Jung, does not delay the recalls, but they got the work that they wanted anyway.
See it now.
And there's no split push pressure, so Ultra Prime are opting into what should be JDG favored in this 5-on-5 composition that they've built for teamfighting. But missing is already taken off of the fight, but that's the Otacon GA. They turn on to the left side looking for Jong, pops the stasis, but gets out with the leap strike, looking at Shun. He secures the Baron. Oh, wait, Junhao stole the Baron away from JDG. JDG, they completely lost their marbles. They're losing a couple members on both sides, but that's a big win for Ultra Prime to take away and deny the Baron as Waco
Waco!
Pays. He's flashing forward. He wants a statement to be made. He takes out Pays, and he goes down for his efforts, but holy moly.
Hold on.
I like what you're cooking here, Waco.
Over. There's no way that Ultra Prime are going to be able to take this one. They will face check, but they're more than fine. Rosie Love, he's getting busted down in the CC as well to Jung.
Counter-Strike only on the 2 member. He's got to delay as much time as possible. Rosie Love gets popped, and Scout is looking for Jong next. Jong is doing everything he can. Another proc with the Counter-Strike with the CDR just is not enough.
Well, I don't know what else to say, and as he dies as well, I think, well, not I think, the Atacon behind Ultra Prime this. Looking for a play on the side lane, and I like this. All in on the side lane. You've got the Hull Breaker. It's really hard for Ala to kill. JDG have to respond to this.
My goodness, I mean, the turret just evaporated. Scout is there to answer, but Saber's just going to try and force his hand. That's Seekers or Zonya's gone, and now Saber has to run for the hills, popping the Ghost. but they've got their
So
objective.
I think JDG have to all in this Baron. Otherwise, it's just a trade that Ultra Prime are happy to get. But a little bit hesitant. It's late, but also look where Junhao is. He's being held up here by Arla. And I think this Baron should go down, but how did Ultra Prime get the fight after
3,000, Junhao, can he get
Oh,
into the
Junhao,
paint?
he's
He's
dead!
close, he does it again! Junhao, the man that was behind Shun's spot in BLG on the BLG Junior team, is able to show up against the man that was in front of him. He does go down, but they deny Baron buff away from JDG. Ultra Prime now just have to live. They have to contain as many Baron buffs as they can for the last surviving members as a Cocoon. They fumbled, and big props to Junhao for being clutch on the steals. However, he might be caught out here. This call, the Forge God, will land true, and ain't no way Junhao's escaping this one. JDG forced the numbers advantage on
3 versus 2. Pays Shun and missing. Will be an inhibitor down, but it's the mid lane inhib, right? So it's not the most important, but I think in this context, it's pretty good because you're dealing with all of this side lane pressure, right? And it kind of acts as a bit of a counterweight. You've always got super minions pushing through the mid lane. As hold on, Waco!
into the back line, but he's got to be careful for the Cyclone as Shun completes the flash and knocks him up, but Saber is here for the collapse. Pace is left all by himself, but he deals with Rosie Love anyway. The rest of Ultra Prime trying to eliminate JDG's last carry into Scout, but he pops the stasis, and that Chaos Storm has the power of the Arcane, ripping them to shreds, and Ultra Prime might have just blown their one shot to take a game off of JDG, because now they're down 3 members, and JDG is still rocking with 4.
Yeah, Pace is walking towards the mid lane. There's no wave for the moment, but as I say it, look how close it really is. Arla drops the ward for Scout, and it's 4 members of JDG in the base against Jax and Vi. 2 versus 4. Let's see if Ultra Prime can hold on to this one.
Can Junhao pull out another miracle? He sends it onto Scout, but Pace is just free firing with these Mystic shots, and if you can't take either out, there's just no chance in hell you can stop the power of JDG. 3-0, GG, well played.
Real end-to-end stuff.
You know, not to say that Junhao was completely without fault, but this was, for a moment, such an impressive showing from Ultra Prime. And once again, you know, the story is similar to what we got against the Weibo Gaming series. For the most part, you know, Ultra Prime expected to just get completely smashed. Remember, this is a roster with 3 players making their official LPL starter debut in the season of 2025. Junhao coming from BLG Junior, Saber and Rosie Love coming up within the Ultra Prime Academy system. You know, game 3, they showed the best that they could, you know, and if for a moment, Jamana, for a moment, it looked like it was going to be enough to just get 1 game off.
They had me fooled. Well, fooled is not the right word. I feel bad saying they had me fooled. They had me convinced, right? They had me convinced that they could potentially pull this rabbit out of the hat. But alas, JDG come up strong, and you know, it's just a couple of small, you know, mistakes, I suppose, in execution, not really, or like being unable to kind of solve some of the issues they had in closing out that game, right? I think the big one was the side lane thing. It's a very awkward game state to be in, especially if you're not necessarily practicing, like, you know, these 1v1-esque comps. And the solution, realistically, and I should have called it out in the cast, so it's my bad for doing it retrospectively. It just makes me look like a worst analyst. You start to overload into one side lane, right? Mm-hmm. And in this case, they did it a few times, in fairness to Arla, and it looked really, you know, successful, maybe too strong a word, but again, it gave them opportunities to potentially play out the rest of the map, right? But unfortunately, even by doing that and sending Junhao to a side lane, didn't end up working out for them. And yeah, again, just generally very good responses from JDG. This might have been a 3-0, but this very easily could have been a series that frankly went the distance. This is not one of those 3-0s that you look at, or this is probably going to be one of those 3-0s that you look at, and if you don't remember the series, you'll think, yeah, of course JDG 3-0'd Ultra Prime. But once you, of course, start VOD watching, start going through the tape, you very quickly realize just how far Ultra Prime were able to push Jingdong in all 2 of the final games here. Because game 1, of course, was a little bit stompy.
Yeah. Game 1, definitely the most convincing and not leaving pretty much any room for us to think otherwise that Ultra Prime had a chance. But yeah, I selfishly am even more sad that Ultra Prime were not able to close this one out, because then I could have been right in my prediction, Jamada. I could have had the 3-1 dream. Oh man, it could have been pure cinema. We got very close though, and
I mean, this game was cinema. Look at that gold craft. It is so up and down throughout all of it. But in the funnier of ways, to be honest with you. Yeah, fantastic game to spectate. And if you tuned in late, or maybe you quite literally have just opened the stream, you're catching this portion, I definitely recommend you rewatch this game. This is a fun game to go through and navigate. Ultra Prime finally getting to show a little bit of skin in the game, right? Again, game 2 not as muted as game 1, but certainly still dominated by JDG. But this one was all about them, really, right? And how they could find ways to try to problem solve this 1v run that they'd set up for themselves. And JDG continually offered harder and harder equations to solve that unfortunately they couldn't quite overcome in the end, though it was starting to look likely with some of these Baron stills.
I just want to call back to how you kind of compared this series to an anime arc, because my god, especially with this awesome music choice we've got going on in the background, I feel like I'm watching the latest episode on Crunchyroll, bro. My goodness, it really was going from absolute ain't no way our protagonist was gonna